Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to For Strategy Gaming. This is going to be game number 2 here between JYP and EG's PuMa. This time we are here on Shakura's Plateau. JYP spawning in the upper left-hand position as our red Protoss player. Then down over here in the lower right is PuMa as the blue Terran player. So yes, this is game number 2 here between these two players. Last game, pretty interesting. PuMa opening up with cloaked Banshee harass against JYP. JYP didn't end up taking too much damage. I think he lost about 6 or 7 workers total. So, you know, it certainly wasn't amazing for him, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. He was able to get that observer out and eventually push it back. But then we saw a follow-up of Marine Tank Raven timing push contain from PuMa, managing to take out JYP's quick expansion. That's another problem that JYP had in going for that 1-gate expand. Had a very hard time dealing with that all-in push that we saw. Also, of course, PuMa pulling off with some SCVs with that push as well. And that really set him up in a very strong spot because he was able to contain JYP, and then he was able to stop any counter-aggression with a tank and a few Marines back at home as well. I honestly really think that, you know, if JYP could have found the way to squeeze in getting a Warp Prism into, you know, I know he was trying to build units to defend himself, but I think if he could have possibly squeezed in a Warp Prism, then he could have Zealot Bombed, harassed PuMa, and that really maybe been able to save him. But his attempted counter-aggression didn't work, and just sitting on the one base and allowing PuMa to mass up those tanks and Marine numbers just really put him in a very, very tough spot. So as we can see right now, JYP moving out across the map with that probe scout moving out. After that first gateway gets dropped, he's going to first be checking that upper right-hand position, then be moving into lower right, at which point he will finally be scouting out PuMa. Now, I wonder if PuMa will be trying to do the same thing. Yes, he will. Going for that quick wall off. It's interesting because it really does set him back a little bit. Normally, watch what's going to happen. Normally, this finishes, you can do a Marine and an Orbital right away. But he's not going to be able to do that. We can see right now, it finishes, he can do the Marine, and he's got to wait a little while longer for that Orbital. So you delay your Orbital and going for this quick wall off. And, you know, a lot of times you won't see Terran players do that. They'll wait until after the Orbital, and they'll just delay that depot a little bit. But PuMa is absolutely dead set on denying the scouting here from JYP. I mean, he needs to do it, and actually with a little bit of Marine Micro, he is going to kill off the probe. Ends up taking one shot from him in response, but very nice PuMa. Just a little bit of a win early on there, getting that quick free kill. Back over here for JYP. Now, I will be interested to see if he decides, knowing the fact that PuMa is, again, intentionally hiding his tech here, you know, even hindering his economy slightly as a result by delaying that orbital command, because it does slightly hinder your economy. Knowing that, I will be very intrigued to see if JYP still tries to quick expand, and he is! He's doing it again. 1-gate expand again, even given the fact that PuMa is doing that same thing. So maybe JYP is just a little more comfortable in this position. And you know what? I don't blame him. This map specifically allows you, with a couple of sentries, to lay some force fields down, and that, you know, it's not so much the Cloak Banshee harass that he may be concerned about, but that secondary follow-up push, you can prevent that from being so devastating with just some force fields, preventing those Marines and tanks from walking up, because neither of them can just walk right through them. You need a massive unit to actually be able to trample right over something like that. So now PuMa, a little sneaky over here, SCV. He currently realizes where JYP is, but he's not moving towards it. He's kind of just chilling out for the moment. You can see he hasn't gotten that full scout, but, you know, your opponent cannot spawn directly north or south of you, so that's why PuMa didn't even bother checking up here, and he moved down here first, and then now he realizes JYP's in this position, but he's holding off on that SCV scout. I think he's trying to wait a couple minutes longer to be able to sneak on in, and hopefully that first stalker will be out of the base by then, and that'll allow that SCV to move on in comfortably and get that scouting done. Now, same opening here from PuMa. He's going again, Cloaked Banshee open, and will we be seeing that Raven and tank follow-up for that Marine tank Raven SCV all-in? It's quite possible. PuMa may very well be going for that exact same style build. We have a proxy pylon over here for JYP, and there it is, perfectly timed. You can see that stalker now leaving the base, so PuMa, that's going to allow him to move on in and get that necessary scouting done. He's getting a full-on scout right now of JYP's base. We can see still JYP doesn't have the robotics up. He followed up that 1-gate with number 2 and 3, and still no robotics. So here we go, Cloak Banshee. Now, the one thing to realize too, given the fact that this map is so much larger, and, you know, PuMa isn't in this position, it's going to be a while until that first Cloak Banshee actually gets to his base. So that could very well be why JYP still hasn't dropped the robotics. He feels like he still has a little bit of time left before he really has to worry about that. We can see he's actually focused right now on some early aggression in response to this. He's going to be trying to do as much damage as possible. Looks like PuMa has scouted it out. Yeah, I believe with that SCV scout, he did manage to catch the fact that this is coming. So here it is right now. Stalker's in the front. We also have have there a couple of sentries. Now, he can't drop any Guardian Shields yet, so he may want to wait until he's got enough energy to do that. There's that Banshee. Will be heading out straight towards JYP's base, finally coming out with that robotics right now. So you can see, actually, that attempted aggression from JYP that eventually it didn't end up doing anything because we saw PuMa come out with that second bunker in response to scouting that was coming. Now JYP is a little bit behind, and he actually may be, as a result, taking some extra damage here from PuMa. So PuMa now moving in, finally dropping that cloak, and here we go, trying to do as much damage as possible. We're going to see JYP pull back with those probes, trying to get out of range, but not being that successful, and actually quite a bit of damage here. Robotics just finishing right now, and he still has to wait for that observer to get Chrono Boost gone through. We've got a total of 5 kills right now. He's going to keep at it. JYP trying to split up those workers, so trying to make it so that, now he's finally killed them off. He's going to try to hunt down the rest of those. Maybe content, though. 9 workers killed is quite a bit. And look at this PuMa with that hidden expansion. Oh, that is so sneaky. So very sneaky. PuMa hiding an expansion up here. Very interesting indeed. Now, certainly, this is going to be phenomenal if it doesn't get scouted. But if JYP scouts this out, then PuMa could be in trouble. Now, clearly, we're not going to be seeing that same type of timing push from PuMa. In fact, he's got another expansion coming out, so he's not planning that timing push at all. Right now, it's all about the macro game. He's working his way into the mid and late stages of the game, coming out with a second and third expansion, and then he will just work up his army and eventually push out later down the road, but he doesn't have any aggression planned anytime soon. And it looks like that Banshee will be moving back in. He's got a total of 11 kills there, and now is number 12. Stalkers trying to do what they can for damage, but not enough. So yes, killing off. Actually, he's got a total of 16 workers killed. I wonder where those other ones came from. 12 from that, and oh, here it is. There's another Banshee over here. Missed it at that natural expansion. This one there sitting with 2. So very nice there, harass by PuMa, and he's still got those 2 Banshees, and he can move out at any point with these. This one's actually accumulating some energy up there in the corner. However, both observers right now scouting out both Banshees, so I'm not sure how much damage they're going to be able to do, as we do expect those observers to sit nice and tight. So if those Banshees move in, JYP will be fully aware of that fact. Still sitting over here with that proxy pylon. He's got control of this tower over here. Actually, both towers going to JYP right now with those zealots, and PuMa finally working his way up into that natural expansion. But again, keep in mind, we've got this going on. So the great thing here, PuMa, with this up, okay, if it doesn't get scouted, phenomenal, great. He's got that extra expansion. He's sitting in a very strong position. The problem is, though, if this does get scouted, PuMa is guaranteed to lose it. There's really no way, with the bulk of his forces being at his main and his natural, that he could defend this third. If it got scouted by JYP, he could quickly move in, and if not take it out, at least force a lift off and trying to hunker it in the corner over here. But PuMa would be significantly behind if this gets scouted and lost. So really comes down to JYP then and his vision and whether or not he bothers to scout up there. He's just scouting that expansion right now, so we've seen PuMa's expo is up, and actually lots of bunkers. PuMa very concerned about a push, a strong 2-base push from JYP, is making sure that he's prepared for it. Now, we should be seeing some Vikings coming out soon as well, because PuMa could be incredibly concerned about a Colossus transition. We can see, though, JYP actually right now just coming out with that robotics bay, so it will be quite a bit while longer until he has any sizable amount of Colossus in play. JYP, though, still just sticking on these 2 bases. In fact, coming out with quite a few Immortals. He is certainly very concerned, evidently, about that same type of push that we saw him do last game, that Marine, Raven, SCV, tank all-in push that we saw him do last game. But as we can see, that's not happening. Again, he's just so macro-focused right now. He's got the level 1 weapons upgrade coming out, Stimpack research coming out, Combat Shield should be following suit shortly thereafter. Lots and lots of depots being built consistently, given the fact that PuMa is pumping units out of so many buildings right now. He does have double medevacs coming out as well from that starport, and again, we should be seeing a Viking transition very soon as well to deal with that possibility of Colossus. Now, let's take a look at that Banshees. This one actually right now sitting with 13 kills. Looks like that other one did get taken care of. Does he just have that one? Oh, no, he's still got 2. Where's that other one? Where's that second Banshee? I do not know where it is. We got this one Banshee trying to engage over here with 15 total kills. I do not know where that second. There it is, moving its way across the map and actually killing off. I believe he got that one Zealot that was over there. And is he going to get this one as well? Looks like he will. Looks like he will be getting out this Zealot. So JYP losing both Zealots, losing control of the center of the map. This Zealot's a goner. Should be able to run away a little bit, but not going to be able to escape the range of that Banshee. And there you go, finishing him off finally. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful play there. And I think that he ended up losing that one as well. I believe he did. No, he still got those 2 Banshees. I don't know where that second one. Okay, this one's heading back home. I keep losing these Banshees. They're just kind of dancing all over the map. But PuMa very impressively with these Banshees. He's got a total of 15 kills here. This one's sitting with 4. I mean, very impressive work. He hasn't lost a single one of those either. You can see JYP right now incredibly far behind in terms of resources lost. Now it looks like we will very well be seeing some drop harass here from JYP. You can see with that Bay actually increasing the speed of those Warp Prisms. He's got that first Warp Prism coming on through. So we will be seeing some drop harass also moving across the map. He's got one Colossus in play, and that is it at the moment. Coming out with that second Colossus after that Warp Prism is finally finished. And yeah, so still no aggression, just macro heavy from both players. Again, besides that Banshee harass, really haven't seen a whole lot. PuMa's actually moving over here with that Banshee. And yes, very, very, very nice indeed. PuMa over here, nice and saturated at that quick hidden expansion that we saw. That was the second base, and then that third one that got placed down over here. So yes, it has been a macro-focused game, but it looks like we will be finally seeing something very, very soon. As we can see again, JYP mobilizing across the center of the map. He also has that Warp Prism harass in play and prepared. I'm just not sure when he's actually going to move out with it. There it is right there. What is this? Oh my gosh, that's a Colossus. I was fully expecting a Zealot Bomb, but it looks like he will be going for some Colossus micro harass. I am not sure how effective this is. This is hilarious in all honesty. So here we go. Center of the map, JYP moving across again. Colossus being prepared to get dropped in the back of PuMa's main base. Now keep in mind, PuMa has had this expansion up and running for quite a while. He's got a very, very strong economy, and I am in all honesty not certain that JYP is going to have enough to contend with it. But here we go, Colossus in the main doing what he can, and there are the Zealots as well getting warped in from that Warp Prism. JYP pushing across towards that front of that natural expansion, so he's threatening right there. While that Colossus, oh no, unfortunately it's going to lose it. It doesn't matter if he drops it because those Vikings would snipe it down. So very nice response there by PuMa, pulling down with those Vikings, taking care of course, both of those. However, those Zealots are still in the main doing quite a bit of damage. So I want to take a quick look here. Right now, JYP killed off a total of 10 workers so far this game. Now, that pales in comparison to the 19 that PuMa has killed off total, but still, managing to a little bit of damage there. In all honesty, though, I'm a little bit concerned. JYP certainly looks to come out on the losing end of things there. Losing that Warp Prism with that Colossus was really devastating, in all honesty. And again, PuMa was fully prepared for that. We've got some additional upgrades coming out. PuMa sitting, in all honesty, in a very, very strong position. I'm a little bit concerned right now for JYP. Again, still no idea about this expansion. Looks like he will be finally scouting it out, but this is a little bit too late because PuMa has had ample time to fully take advantage of these resources. You can see, as it clearly depicted here, 119 army supplies opposed to the 82 of JYP. JYP significantly behind in the size of his army. His income is suffering as well. He's lost more. JYP very far behind this game, and this push could be very scary here from PuMa. JYP could be in a very, very difficult position. It's really going to come down to this next likely large engagement whenever it does come through. But PuMa looking to be very solid, sitting Marauder heavy as well. Those bad boys stimmed up will tear through this. All he needs to do is snipe down this Colossus, and then he is all set. So here we go. Heavy Viking force pushing forward. Couple point defense drones as well. JYP is not ready for this. Getting sandwiched in the corner, losing all of those Colossus. And now it's time for those Marines and Marauders to stim up now that the Colossus threat is gone, and watch them tear through these gateway units. Vikings, are they going to land down just for the heck of it? There they go. Vikings landing down. And JYP forced to call the good game. PuMa just dominating here, hugely in part to this expansion over here. Just the vast amount of resources that he was able to take advantage of as a result of that expo cannot be understated. Much like last game, we saw JYP open up this game with a quick 1 gate into expand, while PuMa went for the same quick cloaked Banshee opening. JYP opted to delay the robotics facility early on in favor of coming out with some early aggression. However, PuMa, managing to scout out a proxy pylon, was able to spot the fact that JYP was coming and prepare with a second bunker and mass SCV repair. Opting for that early aggression that proved to be a failure for JYP, he was not prepared at all for this initial cloak Banshee harass from PuMa. This allowed PuMa to do significant amount of economic damage early on. In addition to that, PuMa then moved out to a quick second expansion hidden in the upper right corner, and then also worked his way up into a third expansion at his natural. With 2 Banshees, PuMa kept consistent harass against JYP, significantly hurting his economy and distracting him in the early game. Instead of planning a Marine tank timing push like last game, PuMa just macroed up, going Marine Marauder heavy, working his way into some heavy Viking and Medevac numbers as well, and again with that quick natural and third expansion hidden in the upper right corner. JYP attempted to push at the front natural expansion of PuMa, simultaneously moving a Colossus and Zealot Bomb into PuMa's main base. However, PuMa, taking advantage of that third expansion that had yet to get scouted, had significant forces and was easily able to fend this off. JYP finally scouted out that hidden expansion. However, at this point in the game, PuMa was so far ahead and had such a significant economic and army advantage that he was able to push out and force the GG. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. This was game number 2 here between PuMa and JYP. We will be moving on to game number 3 in this series in just one moment. As always, if you guys like the content, please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.